how are you? Hope you guys are doing great. So welcome back to my channel. I'm here to talk to you all about some things that you may not know when you have a child with special needs. Of course, it's the obvious. You never know how much you're going to love them and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, we're all past that. Or if you're not and you're just now, what do I have on? I have a sticker on me. If you're just coming into the world of having a child with special needs, you are in a world that is like no other. It is going to be trials and tribulations and just full of love, and you will learn all kinds of things about yourself that you never knew before. You will learn that you have a whole new level of patience and understanding and a thrive to fight for your child like no tomorrow. And that thrive has actually gone on to all of our children, which we've always had a thrive for all of our children, but I count it to my oldest, who has Down syndrome, where I have an extra thrive now. For anything that we're getting for her, we want for them. And anything we're getting for them, we want for her, and it's just, you'll see. As they grow, if you are just entering into parenthood with a child with a special needs, whether it be Down syndrome, autism, cerebral palsy, Asperger's. Oh, there's so many amazing special needs children. Just be prepared to fall deeply and madly in love with your child and to enjoy every step and every single thing that they succeed in, because it is such a triumph to watch them do it, and such a triumph to watch everybody else who doubted any of that watch them do it. And you just kind of get to go, I knew they could. I knew they could. It's just going to take them a little bit longer. So keep your head up high, and just keep smiling and just keep pushing. Another thing I want to say myself, and I tell this to every one of my friends and anybody who has a child with special needs, yes, they have a special needs, but do not use that special needs to impair them. And what I mean by that is, do not treat them like they are unable to do anything. Know their limitations and push them just a little bit past that and watch them grow. Obviously, there's some that won't be able to do some things, and that is perfectly fine. But don't limit them in everything, because that just impairs them and that doesn't allow them to grow. And that is my personal opinion. You don't have to listen to me. But we raise our daughter, quote unquote, as though she does not have Down syndrome. And we push her a little bit past her envelope more and more as she grows. And we are noticing that she's as quote unquote normal as she can be with Down syndrome. And not that I'm saying Down syndrome is a bad thing. I'm just saying I want to see her do her best and be able to get as far as she can in life. If that makes no sense, I'll try to explain it in another video. For now, we're going to go into something. We're skipping ahead now. So from birth to 11 years old. And what is hitting up around 10 and a half, 11, and 12? Puberty. That is right. So, my daughter has started developing within the last, I'd say 2-3 months. You know, she's developing the chest, and she's got other areas growing, which came to a big shocker to Mama. I was like, okay, you're growing a chest, that's cool, I can handle that, let's go get a bra. My daughter hates to take baths, even though we don't push her, but we tell her, here's your bath day, here's your blah, 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 and here's your stuff. And I do, now that she's getting older, I sit with her and I make sure she washes herself. Because the days that she doesn't want to, Mommy's got to jump on and do the mango tango, you know, squid thing and octopus thing and get her all washed up because she's clean. And that will eventually someday pass. And she'll do it all on her own. But she is developing from top to bottom. And with development also comes curiosity. Yes, be prepared for curiosity. It is not. I'm gonna tell you, I'm still not used to the whole curiosity thing, but it happens. If you do go read online, I won't go into that too much into detail, but they do. They have a higher drive, and they find themselves a lot quicker than some children. And go read on it, because you will walk in on things that you'll be like, whoa. And it's not meant for them to be. It's not meant what we're thinking. It's just the curiosity of the body. So let's move forward. So recently, like I said, my daughter is developing, and she's going into puberty, which we all know what comes with puberty, at least for us females. As far as males go, I don't know. I will do some research, and there might be some stuff that you guys with sons, or, well, families with sons, are not prepared for. I'm going to talk about females today. So, with development comes a monthly cycle. When it comes, we don't know. I started mine semi-early, and with puberty comes the monthly cycle and flow, the red river of the month. Whatever you prefer to call it. And with that comes reproductive things. So, with all these things developing, I made a pediatrician appointment because I wanted to ask the pediatrician what we should do, since I like I said, I started a little earlier than normal people. So I went and we took her to the pediatrician, and the pediatrician automatically, she noticed, well, I didn't say this is why we were going in. I did a pediatrician appointment for all my kids, and she noticed, she's like, we've got some developmental things going here. And I was like, yeah, I know. What do we do? And she goes, oh, that's easy. I'm sending you to the OBGYN. I was like, what? You're doing what? What? Back up. She's 11, going to be 12. You're doing what? Which, in all honesty, though I was shocked, I really wasn't. Like, mentally, I knew it was coming. Me and my husband have talked about this many times while she was younger, and even recent times, about how we were going to have to see about whether we're going to let her do her first cycle, or if it would be better to get her on something, or whatever. So, anyways, she gives me this referral to the OBGYN, and I leave, and I call my mother-in-law, and, you know, grandmas and grandpas, and everybody, let everybody know how the kids are doing. And of course, everybody's, why, what's going on? Well, she's getting to be, you know, a young adolescent. So a couple days later, I get a call from the OBGYN office. Here's the funny part. And they asked for my daughter. And I'm like, can I ask who this is? And they're like, this is such and such office. And I'm like, okay, well, this is her mother. And they're like, well, we need to talk to her. I'm like, no, you don't. You need to talk to her mother. I am her mother. She does not you know, her comprehensions between, 6 and 8-ish, depending on the day. I mean, she's very smart, very intelligent, but as far as comprehending stuff like this, she's not at that level. So the lady tells me again, I need to talk to her. This is the appointment for her. And I said, yes, but my daughter has Down syndrome. And I explained to her that, you know, she goes, oh. So I said, okay, let me set up an appointment and we'll get her in as soon as possible. Can I ask what all is going to be happening at this appointment? Because at this point, I'm thinking, oh my goodness, she's going to have to get a pap smear and a this and a that, you know, regular OB appointment. I'm freaking out. And my daughter don't even take shots very well. That takes an army. So, not sure how she's going to deal with that one. So the lady on the phone just starts laughing. She goes, nope, that's not until she's 21. And at that point, we can figure out what needs to be done to get a proper one. I'm like, okay. So she's like, well, we'll take Skylar in to a separate room and we'll talk to her about birth control. You're gonna what? You're gonna take, again, I just explained to you that my daughter doesn't understand any of this, into a room And you're going to talk to her about birth control? No. You're going to take me and her father and her to the room, and we're going to discuss everything that, about her. Whether it's a good option to put her on birth control before she has her first cycle, or if it'd be better to put it on after. I will say that 95% of the gynecologist offices will suggest to put your child on some sort of longer term birth control, like the Depo shot, or the little thing that goes under your skin, or something that is longer term, like 3 months, 6 months, a year, 2 years, 3 years. They will suggest something of that nature, which I do agree. I myself will not have one inserted into her. There's been too many horror stories with that, and that's just my opinion. I know too many people who have lost insurance and haven't been able to get it out and got infections, and just, no, it's not worth it. I'd rather her get the shot or the thing underneath. But the reason they do this is so that you don't, if your child doesn't like to take a pill, mine will take a pill just fine. She thinks she's very cool that she can swallow a pill. Don't ask. But I can give it to her orally if I need to, but it's easier for you as a whole family to have them have something which is, a couple of months or 6 months or a year. So those are all things that you, if you're not at this stage yet, you might want to think about and kind of look at what's available as your child gets to their developmental, their developing stage of puberty. We have not gone to the appointment yet, so as soon as we do go to the appointment, I will come back and do another video and kind of let you know, as of right now in 2016, what is available for our children who are at that stage. I know I cannot be the only parent that's like, what? But that is something that you think about, you talk about. Okay, me and my husband did. We knew that eventually she was going to have to go on birth control. Oh, and here's the reason why. There's plenty of people that I've heard. There was a lady who overheard me talk to my mother-in-law, which I didn't realize she was there while I was waiting at the bus stop for my other 2 children. So I honestly thought it was just me. I was talking to her about the whole thing. And I get off the phone and she's like, well, why would you put your 11-year-old on birth control? And I'm like, well, because she's 11 and she's got Down syndrome and she's going into, having her womanly cycle. And she goes, and that is not a reason. Okay, well, let me explain something to you. And let me explain it all to you as well. Children with disabilities are a high target for those perverted jackasses that are out there. And I'm sorry for cursing, but that is exactly what it is, a bunch of perverted jackasses. They see our children, they are unable to communicate the way that a child without a disability is able to communicate, and therefore they are a target. They are unable to communicate, they are a lot of times misinterpreted or misunderstood, even by us, their own parents. There is times that we don't understand necessarily what they're telling us. Okay, let's take this as a prime example. So my daughter was at a different school not too long ago, brand new to the school, was only there, I want to say like 3 months, and she was bullied probably every other week. Now, we knew my daughter was not the type to start issues with other kids. She is one to, on occasion, get a little feisty with the teachers, but nothing overly feisty. So we were getting, a story of And I was getting calls from the nurse, and I was getting calls from the teachers and the teachers' aides, who none of the stories matched at all. My daughter's story would match part of this one's, and part of this one, part of this. I finally took my daughter out of that school simply because of the fact that I did not know what was going on, and my daughter could not give me every single detail, enough for me to say that she was safe in that environment. I had gone to talk to the principal, all the way up to the school board, and I had her switched within 3 days. I told them they had no choice. So, again, we are unable to know everything at certain times of what's going on. So to protect them somewhat, yes, it does not protect them from the emotional and physical damage that may happen. It does protect them as far as them getting pregnant, which is something that could be very, very either deadly to them because of their needs. They may not have all of the properties to carry. I don't want to say properties. They probably have all of the developmentalness to carry a child. That, and they may not physically or emotionally or mentally be able to. Like my daughter, no, she would not be able to. And I have to say, honestly, for me, that does make me sad, or it did. I'm not over it, but I have moved past that now. But it still hurts me to know that my firstborn girl will not be able to give me a grandchild at some time. But that's okay. I'd rather her be safe and healthy and happy. So be prepared. Be prepared for that. It is what it is. And you want your child to be healthy and happy. Along the lines with them not being able to fully explain or tell you a circumstance, you do please take your time to understand them as best you can. Take your time to sit and let them talk to you. I know a lot of people say, oh, I listen. No, I'm telling you, you sometimes have to sit and listen to them for longer than 5 minutes. It might take an hour for them to get the point or the story or the whatever they're trying to tell you. And remember, always make it seem like it's a very important. It may be something minute and something that's whatever, but make sure that you let them know that you're proud of them and that what they're telling you is very important. Because if you tell them that it's not, or okay, you can tell me later, okay, I mean, obviously there's going to be occasions where, there's occasions where I'm cooking dinner and I'm doing like 7 different things. And I have to tell her, okay, not right now, but I will listen to you here in a little bit. And she understands that. But if you're sitting there and you're not doing anything, make sure to take the time and listen to what they're saying, because eventually, if you don't, they're not going to tell you anything. And as a safety measure for them, you want them to feel secure in coming to you and your husband, or you and your wife, or you and whoever their safety net is. You are their safety net. Everything as far as their safety is on you. And yes, the school has a lot to do with the bus drivers or whoever, however they get to school. But if you are not somebody that they can come talk to, you're not going to know if they're getting hurt. So just take that time. Another thing is learn their facial expressions. Just learn everything about them. As you're watching them grow, you'll learn their different things and their different facial expressions and them. You'll learn them. I am looking to do some more videos on these type of topics. If you have any that you would like me to cover, or you're not sure about, or you have a question, let me know and I'll do my best to answer it. I'm not a doctor. I'm just a mom coming on here and sharing some things that honestly I didn't see anybody on YouTube saying, hey, get ready to get your kid on birth control young. And I thought, well, you know what? There's maybe people not ready for that. I will say with boys particularly, it does say in that whole finding themselves that, and girls, it more leans towards boys, but in both genders, that there is a possibility of them finding or doing things at school that are not appropriate. And there's articles on there on kind of how to help that. I haven't ran into that. My daughter doesn't do any of that. But for you who have boys, just kind of watch out for it. I used to work for a company that we transported, and we had a couple of them that we kind of have to like, okay, we're not going to do that right now. You can do that later. So, yeah, that's just a heads up. I mean, it's nothing horrible. It's just life as a parent with a very awesome, special person. And that person is your person, and mine is mine, and they're all special. So, yep. If you guys have any questions, let me know. I'll talk to y'all soon. Mwah. Keep it beautiful and give everybody a very special hug.